Hello, everybody. I hope you are going well, and I'm very pleased to talk tonight. Hello, everybody. I hope you are going well, and I'm very pleased to talk tonight. Okay, hello everybody. I'm Boris Bergerot from STAKRN Group. Nice to meet you. I hope you're going well and you are in a safe way. The goal. Hello everybody. I'm Boris Bergerot from STAKRN Group. Nice to meet you. I hope you're going well and you are in a safe way. So. The goal. Let's start again. Okay. For some technical problem I have, just to introduce myself and speak about the conference of tonight. The goal is to speak about esports talent representation and how it works. What are the different services that an agency could provide about esports talent. So my name is Boris Bergerot. I'm the founder of STAKRN Group, an esports business company based in the south of France. I will share my screen and I will explain a little bit what we are doing at STAKRN Group, but mainly we are focused on different services about esports and entertainment and also innovation. So I will share my screen to start now to chat with you. You can write some question in the chat on YouTube if you have. The goal is to understand what are the key factors and how works an esports agency focus on representing talent in esports with some pro gamers. So just a quick summary about what we will speak tonight. First of all, we will speak about some legal aspects. So the goal is to understand what is important for the pro gamers, for the players about their contract. We will speak about the community management side and the promotion side of the pro gamers because it's important for a pro gamer to be concentrate on playing video games, not necessarily on organizing all the stuff around its promotion, but sometimes it could be interesting for the pro gamer to have the support of an agency about that topic. We will speak about the performance and the training side because esports is very close to what happens in traditional sports. So it means that the performance side is very important to be more competitive and to have all the skills, all the partners, all the staff to perform. We will speak a little bit about the social side, what could be the interest for a pro gamer to be involved in some social projects and also to manage his health better and better. And then we will speak, of course, about sponsorship and salaries because it's probably one of the main activities of the esports talent agency is to find some new sponsors, to create influence marketing campaign, is about supporting the development and the business side of the pro gamers. So as you know, esports is the competitive side of playing video game, and it's at the crossroads of the video games, entertainment, technologies, and sports. It means that when you speak about electronic sports, we have, of course, people playing video game. You have many events. So the last webinar was about that topic, about the different tournament, the different events we have around the world. It could be online, offline. It could be stream most of the time, and it could be, of course, local, national, continental tournament with cash prize and many big teams involved in the tournament. So of course you have an entertainment side and a lot of technologies about the lights, about the virtual reality, about augmented reality, about the data, about the artificial intelligence, and many things that are interesting about the way the people could practice in an esports arena, for example. And of course the sport, because playing hard, playing a video game is not so easy, and it needs some skills, it needs some training, and it could be a kind of a sport practice. So just about the introduction for the people that are watching the conference for the first time, I'd just like to introduce a little bit more myself about what we are doing at STAKRN Group. So as I said previously, we are based in the south of France. We are working most of the time in Europe, but also in North America, in Asia, and in different areas of the world. So the main topics, the main services we provide are divided in three parts. The first one is called Esports Agency, STAKRN Agency, the strategy consulting, the esports and athlete representation, and the B2B events organization are the main activities we have at STAKRN Agency. We also have a subsidiary called STAKRN Invest, with the goal to support the entrepreneurs, the startups, to raise funds between 100 euros and 5 million euros, and of course to support them about all the financial aspect, about the business plan, about the pitch deck, about many things, about financial stuff, and we help them to be okay to find some new investors like business angel, VC, and different kind of potential investors. So it's an agency focused on the financial side of esports, and to find the best esports team or esports startup, or different areas we could have, like virtual reality and many other things, like in immersive technologies. And also to support the investors to understand how esports works, and what are probably for them the best way to invest in these areas. And also the third company we have is STAKRN Innovation, and STAKRN Innovation is dedicated to designing the next generation of esports and entertainment venues around the world. So the goal for us is to provide advices, to support some property developers, to support investors, to support cities, to support government in the best way to imagine a specific location where we can probably add many things inside, like esports arenas, some schools, some restaurants, some virtual reality center, gaming house, co-working spaces, co-living spaces, and many other things. So we are working with different property developers in France and in different countries, and the goal for us is to imagine the best concept for esports and entertainment venues, with, of course, B2B and B2C opportunities inside the building, inside the location. So this is globally a quick overview of what we're doing as STAKRN Group. So STAKRN agency for the consulting side, and the talent representation also we have. I will explain then with some case studies. STAKRN Invest about fundraising, and STAKRN Innovation about all topics around esports and entertainment venues. So I'd like to share quickly a kind of esports panorama, esports overview of the ecosystem, to understand exactly where the esports talent agency can work. So you have different pillars inside the ecosystem. Of course, you have the publishers, and they decide many things in esports ecosystem. I'm sure you know Riot Games, you know Valve, Ubisoft, Activision Blizzard, Electronic Arts, and they want to push tournament. They want to have some visibility in esports scene. They want to attract new gamers. They want to bring into relief their video game in different areas in the world. So they are working closely with, of course, the professional teams like Vitality, Cloud9, Fnatic, or many other professional teams you have in different continents, in different countries. They also work with the events organizers, so like ESL, Gfinity, Blast, SWC, different event organizers involved in the esports scene, about physical, so offline tournaments, but also on online tournaments, because as you know, because of the COVID period we live, most of the tournaments are migrating to the online scene with the streaming platforms and many other things. So you have the publishers, you have the team, you have the events. Of course, you have some leagues. Maybe you know you have some open leagues of closed league. Maybe you know the Overwatch League. You know the European, the League of Legends European Championship called the LEC. You have the Call of Duty League in which globally is working with some specific team that have to pay a slot to participate to the tournament. And you have beside these main pillars that are publishers, team, events, organizers, and leagues, you have different agencies, you have different startups, you have some manufacturers, you have different sectors of activities, and you, of course, you have a talent agency that could provide some specific services to support, to help the pro gamers to concentrate on their job, to help them to boost their business, their brand awareness, and many other topics that we will see in a few minutes. Just about speaking about the audience and the sponsors, it's very important to understand that the audience is increasing on the streaming platform, in many platforms around the world. Of course, in Twitch, who has been acquired by Amazon in 2016 for close to $1 billion. It's important to understand that the growth of the audience, the online audience, have an impact about the visibility for the sponsors, for the brand, specifically online, of course, and that's the players have a strong opportunity to generate visibility for some sponsors. It could be a sponsor for a team, or it could be a personal sponsor. If you have a lot of tournament, an increasing audience online, but also some attendees, of course, on offline events, it's a good way to promote the sponsors, the non-endemic brands, or the endemic brands involved in some tournaments, for example. and it's a good way for the players, the pro gamers, to monetize their skills, their audience, because they also have their own communities, online communities on Twitch, for example, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on different social networks. So the pro gamer, of course, works for its own team, but also has its own social networks, and it could, of course, monetize and try to earn money in addition to his salary, and in addition to the cash prize he can earn in different tournaments. So, if we are looking about the talent representation agency role, let's say that the main goal is for the player, of course, is to work and to concentrate on playing video game. And for the agent, because we say agent, it's not a job, because you have a sport agent. It's very you have some rules, you have some diplomas, but in esports you don't have any official certification to be an esports agent. So of course you have many agents in different countries, in different video games, and the goal for a player is to just concentrate on his job and to let the agent develop all the different sides and manage all the different aspects of his career. So a talent agency used to support the player from A to Z on many topics that could facilitate the life of the pro gamer and to help him to be very concentrate on his daily practice, daily tournament, his daily job, that is to play video games. The career of probably the career of the pro gamers are most of the time very short. So it means that they have to monetize. Of course, if they are good players, they need to monetize their audience. They need to find some sponsors, personal sponsor. They have to earn some money with some marketing activation, for example, and also they need to be secure about all the legal aspects, to be secure about the transfer, about the different legal side of esports, but signing the contract with their team, signing some contract with a sponsor, for example, or with a media, and the goal for a talent agency is to be a kind of a father, yes, a good father that could support every day the player in many areas. So, sorry for what we have to understand is the protection for the esports pro gamer, the esports athlete, is probably the main topics that is very difficult to understand, because the laws are very different as those of the traditional sports. The esports laws in different countries are not necessarily the same about the way to manage the minor, for example, and the adult pro gamers. So under 18 or above 18, you don't have necessarily exactly the same rules, the same contract between the pro gamer and his team, for example. So it's a problem sometimes, because if you don't have a lawyer, if you don't have any legal support to help the pro gamer to sign the best contract, Uh, of course, if he's minor, it's not so easy for him to understand the some specific decisions, some specific sentences in the contract, and it's important to imagine that the talent represent agency is here to protect the pro gamers they have on the contract. So, of course, the recognition of esports is not necessarily the same in all the countries. Esports is sometimes considered as a sport, as a traditional sport by some ministries. In other countries, it's not the case. So, of course, the contract and the relationship between a young pro gamer or a pro gamer with the team are not the same. So the status of the employment contract is very important to understand, because most of the time there are different status available, and the programmers don't necessarily have the legal skills, the time, the background to see exactly what is the best contract for them. So we can speak about the draft, about the salaries, about the transfer, about the buyout of the team when they split at the end of the season, for example. So the goal is to protect, because it's not a sustainable system. It's not a protective system for the pro gamers. So esports is a kind of jungle in some ways. Of course, you have sometimes the involvement of the publishers. They help the team to discuss the contract with the pro gamers, with the different players they have in the team. So you can have some specific things offered by the publisher during some negotiation. So let's say that protecting esports athlete is probably the main topic for an esports talent agency, a talent representation agency involved in supporting the gamers. About the legal aspects, what we could provide to support them is to drafting some contract, because of course they don't know exactly what are the law. They don't know exactly how to negotiate sometimes with a team about the percentage, about the fees, about the salaries, about the cash price, about the transfer, and many other things. Sometimes they already have a contract, and the talent represent agency works with some specific lawyers to secure all the contract and to proofread the contract, because they can probably already have a contract with a sponsor, or they already have a contract with a team, and it's just about reading again and again the contract and maybe try to optimize the contract. So about moving in a new thing, about negotiating the salary, about the transfer, about the marketing activation, about the sponsorship, about the media rights. You have specific legal aspects to understand, and it's not the job of a pro gamer. So the job of a pro gamer is to define the strategy when you play on League of Legends, or in playing CSGO, or whatever the video game. He has to be concentrate with his mate to the next party, and to the next game against another team. So the goal is to help the pro gamer to have the best contract possible, and to discuss, to negotiate sometime for him with some other stakeholders, like the team, like the sports, like the media, for the media right topic, for example. So it's very important to understand that the legal aspects are not mastered by the programmers most of the time, because they didn't go to the school to learn the law, the legal aspects of the sector. So the talent agency works with some experts like lawyers, for example, to read, to draft the contract, and to secure the different way to yes, to have the best contract for the programmers. Second topic I'd like to speak about is about the promotion side, because the digital natives used to post on Instagram, or to tweet, to have their own social network like TikTok, Snapchat, etc. But sometimes they forget that the promotion of social network for when you represent an organization, an esports organization, is not the same as if you are another people, not with lower influence. So the community management is sometimes a service that could be provided by an esports talent agency to create the design, to create the strategy, to do some reporting with some dashboards, to support the programmer to be more professional, boost what we call the personal branding of the programmer. Of course, it's important to think that if you have, for example, 100K followers on Twitter, or probably some programmers with millions of followers on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, why not on Twitch? You have the power to influence your audience. So about influence marketing, non-endemic brands are, and of course endemic brands as well, are interested by using programmers when, for example, when they stream, or they are interested when they are in a specific location to meet the community, the young people, and to be close to the fans, and they want to organize a marketing activation, for example, doing a physical tournament. So the influence marketing side is important about the monetization of the brand awareness, the visibility, the audience, specifically on social networks of some programmers. So it's a good way for them to negotiate with some brands, to do some announcement, and to show new products, new services, and to be paid as an influencer. So all topics about community management are important, and a talent representation agency could have. That's the case, for example, for my company. We have a specific business unit focused on community management and promotion, and we help some of our talents to use better the social networks. We organize influence marketing campaign for them after negotiating with some sponsors. We give them some topics. We create some designs, some infographics, some specific content for the programmers. So it's as well a service that could be interesting for a programmer to have the support of a specific business unit, for example, focus on promoting his skills, is a way to practice the video game and to monetize, because monetization is a key factor for the career of a programmer, because as the career is very sometimes very short. We can say maybe 4, 5, 6. Sometimes you have pro gamers in front of the scene for 10 years or a little bit more, but it's a very short career that they have. So they need to use their notoriety, their brand awareness, their way to be an influencer sometimes, to monetize and to earn money during this very short period. Let's speak about something very close to what is happening in the traditional sports, is the performance side and the training side of the pro gamer, because all the players of the gamers now have a strong support to perform. But sometimes it's interesting to work with on some specific topic about stress management, emotion, mental and physical preparation, performance optimization, with some softwares, with some equipment, for example. And it could be, it's not the case in all the talent represent agency, but it's sometimes that could be interesting for the programmer to have some services like that. So it's the case, for example, at STAKRN Agency, we provide this service, and we work with some trainers, with some coaches dedicated to esports, with the background, with the skills to follow our talent on the contract, and to define a program about mental coaching, about physical preparation, about performance optimization. In addition, of what the pro gamers already have in their own esports team, in their club. So of course, the best pro gamers have physical preparation, mental coaching, stress management, etc. In their own club, but sometimes they need more than they receive in their own club. So that's why it's important for a talent represent agency to have some strong partners and to be able to provide sometimes a specific mental coaching session, for example, or to create a specific program because a programmer playing on CSGO, and another on Fortnite or on FIFA or on League of Legends or on sim racing, they don't necessarily have the main program about the performance optimization side. And it's interesting, of course, to have some experts that could be involved in the global strategy of optimization for the pro gamer. So all about performance and training is very important, of course, for the pro gamers. It's quite the same thing for the traditional sports, but it's a service that could be provided by the Esports Talent agency. About social and health, I wanted to speak about what could be the social commitment of an influencer. Because the best pro gamers are influencers on social networks. And of course, if a talent agency works for all the daily topics around the athletes, so we spoke about the legal aspect, about the performance, about the way to find some sponsors or something like that. It's important as well, in my opinion, and in the way we are working with the talents, to think about the social commitment they could have as a kind of model for the young people. So all the topics around conferences, education, meeting the young people, that's something that the talent representation agency can also take in consideration for the pro gamer they have on the contract. So I think that working with a talent is not only doing some money. Of course, it's important for everybody because the talent representation agency receive a fee on some different contract from the sponsors, for example, when they find a sponsor, and if you have a campaign on social networks for the pro gamer, a percentage is distributed to the talent agency. Of course, it's a kind of business for sure, but all the education and conference side, are, I think, important to democratize esports and to support the brand awareness, the personal branding of the pro gamer. It's not only playing hours and hours. It's also to have a strong role as a model for the young people, and we think that the talent agency needs to be involved in the social side of the education side to give some specific opportunities for young people to meet their star, their influencers, their pro gamers. And of course, you have the health and prevention side, which is probably a specific topic that could be offered in the esports club, in the organization. But you have some people like nutritionists, for example, people, therapists, the people that could support the pro gamers about all the topic for a better sleep, for example. So social and health are some topics to create a kind of synergies, a good way for the pro gamers to be concentrated, to be zen, to have a strong visibility, and to have all the best services to perform, because the performance, of course, is not only practicing. Of course, if you practice 10, 12, 15 hours a day, it could be interesting for you about the strategy, about the gameplay, about many things inside the video game. But it's not necessarily the best way to perform and to be the best at the end. It's also about taking care of your health, about what you are eating, what you are drinking, about your sleep, about the relationship you have in the real world with the young people, with the brands, with many topics. So it's a kind of good vibes that could be give to the pro gamers thanks to the different services they receive from Esports Talent agency. The main role that we are thinking of most of the time when we speak about esports talent representation is probably about the sponsorship and the salaries. It's not the only role, but it's a major role because, as we said, the career is very short for a pro gamer. The sponsors want to have some visibility, credibility in the millennials ecosystem, and they want to work sometimes with some pro gamers. So of course the sponsor work with the different teams. It could be professional team or semi-professional team, for example, or as well in the grassroots ecosystem. But the sponsorship revenues for pro gamer could be interesting in addition to the salaries or to the cash prize. So they want that the agency with which they are under contract, they want to have some new opportunities because they don't have time. They don't have time to to speak or to source some brands around the world, a manufacturer, an apparel brands, food and beverage brands, and many brands, endemic or non-endemic brands, to develop their business and to monetize and to sign contract. They don't have time to source and to speak and to negotiate with the brands. So it's the role of an esports talent agency to negotiate, to source, to make some go-between, to define what could be the best way to organize an influence marketing campaign, for example, or what is the best way to create a shooting and to take some photos of the pro gamers in a specific location to promote the sponsor. So monetizing the influence and the communities of its player is a main role for the talent agency. And of course, the negotiation about the salaries between the pro gamer and the team are very important, because when you are 18, 20, you are very young, you play probably since your childhood, but you don't have necessarily the skills or the opportunity to negotiate with an organization. Sorry. So it's a role that could be supported by the talent agency to negotiate the future salaries for the next season, for example, for a pro gamer. Some services as well is about all the signatures, all the negotiation about the terms of the contract, about identifying the best new team in the video game of the pro gamer. I think it's a nice way for the pro gamer to have a support if it work with a talent agency and to develop his career. So we speak about signatures, we speak about the evolution of the career. Sorry. So just a little case studies as a kind of a conclusion. You have here some talents working with many brands. You have esports talent, but you have also sport talent. And as you know, esports and sports are sometimes very close. They are converging in many topics. So some talent agency also have talent from the sports ecosystem. They also have some talents like content creators, like YouTuber, like streamer, like caster. So it's not only about representing the interest and the business, the legal aspect, and many things just for the pro gamers. It could be also for the traditional sports athlete. It could be for the casters, the streamers, the YouTubers, for example, as well. So a quick example about some people we have on the contract at STAKRN agency. We have some sim drivers, very very famous sim drivers around the world, because they are, for example, world champion on Gran Turismo, on Forza Motorsports, as well. Yes, it's the main world champion or European champion or top 1, top 3 in some big tournaments around the world. So, for example, for them, we as STAKRN agency, we don't manage all the services we discussed just before. We support them about legal side. We support them about finding new teams, about the signature of their contract with a new team, the different ways to help them to develop their career, but and of course to find sometimes some sponsors, or to create some marketing activation with some brands. Sometimes they go to some conferences, they meet young people to discuss in some schools, etc. But they are not. We are not supporting them for the community management, for example, because they manage all their social networks. We give them some advices, but we don't necessarily manage daily their social networks on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, etc. So ASICS, Muria, Seven, Anto are the aka of some of the pro gamers we have. Focus on sim racing, so they are running on some video game, but focus on motorsports. We also have some traditional sports athlete. One of the best, probably in France, is Wesley Fofana. He was 46-time in the national selection for the country. He played against the All Black, against many big national teams in different tournaments, in the Six Nations, for example, or the World Cup as well, and is now playing in a famous club in France called ESM. And for him, we are providing some services more focused on business side, and as well about community management. We are managing all the social networks for him. We try to find some sponsors, some partners to create some influence marketing campaign on social networks. We support him about the strategy, the promotion strategy for his career. We are not negotiating the contract with his club because we are not an agent, we are not a sport agent, but we are more focused on the sponsorship, partnership, marketing activation, promotion, and social networks. So I think, in my opinion, about the way to work as an esports talent agency and to represent the interests of some pro gamers, or some sports athlete, or some influencers, or caster, or streamer, or whatever, is to have a panel of services. It could be about legal, it could be about performance, it could be about communication, it could be about sponsorship, and probably different other topics about career management, etc. And the goal for the talent agency is to let the programmer choose what is for him the best services to use, and will sign after a specific contract with all the modalities, all the financial negotiation inside the contract. And then the success of talent is as well our success. So the goal for us is to help them to be better and better, is to give them all the services, the useful services to boost their career, to concentrate every day on their main topic, which is the playing very hard on video game or on traditional sports. So this is what I wanted to share with you today about the role of an esports talent agency, how we can represent the interest and how it works from the from the behind the scene, from inside the company. So I hope it was a little bit useful for you to understand the relationship between the pro gamers, the lawyers, the performance side, the sponsorship side, and what we are doing in a talent representation agency. Of course, it's not all the pro game talent work with a talent agency, of course, because they don't want, because they are not interested, because they don't have time, because they are not so so influencers, so famous to have some strong community, so they know they won't be able to boost their monetization for. But we see some talent agency in many countries. The main problem is to have the keys to understand how it works, to have the best partners in specific areas like legal, like training, for example. So of course I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a sport agent, I'm not a nutritionist, but we organize some process inside our company to work with some specific and very expert partner, and to create a business model around the pro gamers, and to help them to be focus on their business, which is playing hard video game, to be the best one in their video game, in their title, and to move in probably in some new teams the next year. So creating an esports talent agency, a talent representation agency, is not about saying, okay, we can represent, we will sign a contract between you and the company, because you have to understand exactly how works the esports negotiation. You have to understand what the pro gamers need the more about the concentration they need in different period of their season, of their life, and to be very flexible, and to have the strong knowledges in and the strong network as well, to provide the best services, and to help them to monetize their audience, to help them to have the best contract, to help them to have the best support for the performance optimization, etc. So it's probably you will hear about many esports talent agencies that are coming days after days in different countries, in different areas, in different titles of video game. But the proof of concept, if I can say, is the performance of the strategy, is the satisfaction of the pro gamers or the talent on the contract. It's not only to sign a contract, is of course to manage the career and to provide the best services. So thanks for your attention. Of course, I remain at your disposal if you have any question in the chat. I will stop sharing my screen, and if you have any question, it's time to send me your question. And of course, we can have a new debate, and we can speak further on LinkedIn, for example.